If we take the Mrs. out of your name, who are you? Who are you if nobody's calling you mommy? Jesus was so clear on this. In fact, he was so clear on it that he wanted the people around him to also be clear about his identity. He asked, who do men say that I am? So a man who shouldn't be worthy of you, you would make him a king in your life, and he will mess up what you've handed over to him. A healthy woman makes healthy choices. What that means is that if you're a healthy person, chances are you'll make the right choice in marriage, you'll make the right choice in career. When I mean healthy, I don't just mean physically, I mean spiritually, emotionally, mentally. Okay? Most of the crises that I've had to deal with as a counselor are people who are unhealthy. When I say they're unhealthy, they don't have a healthy perception of themselves. So they don't have any value for themselves. So they settle for anything that they're given, even crumbs. So if you do not love yourself, you don't know yourself, you would drink anything that is offered to you. So the 6 areas that I think every woman really needs to look into. First of all, the first one is your womanhood, your identity as a woman. The second thing is your ministry as a woman. What are you called to do? The third thing is your marriage. The fourth thing is the people who speak to your life. Who are your mentors? Who are the people you are mentoring? The fifth one is money. Money. A lot of women make poor choices because they have to stay where the money is. And the last thing is motherhood. So what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to ask you these 6 questions. We're going to talk about them, and then I will let you ask questions that you may have so that I may be able to deal with specific things. So the first question I'm going to ask you is, who are you? Who are you? And I need you to take maybe a minute to think about that. Who are you when you are not a Mrs.? Because people will try to define you, especially as a woman. This is not what you are supposed to do. I was in a meeting just before we came in, and I was having a conversation with 3 amazing women doing great things. And one of them was saying, I'm not feminist. I'm not interested in fighting to be a man. I love being a woman. I'm very feminine. There's nothing tough about me. I'm very tender. I'm very gentle. And then the other lady said to her, I don't agree that you're not tough. You can't say to me that you're soft. You're tough. It takes being tough to do the things that you do. So don't say that you are all woman. There's something tough like a man. And then I said to her, why do we ascribe being tough to manliness? I think that has been the problem over the years, that we do not want to agree that a woman can be tough. If you've ever been into a labor room and you've pushed a baby out of you, you are tough. And that has nothing to do with being a man. That's a very feminine virtue. Strength. When the Bible talks about the Kail woman, that's the virtuous woman. That word is actually a military term. It's like being equipped with everything an army is equipped with. And that's not ascribed to a man, it's ascribed to a virtuous woman. So when she said, I said the real problem is that we have not been able to define womanhood. We have allowed people define it for us. So I'm asking you tonight, who are you? You have to understand your personality. This will drive a lot of the things that you will do in your life. It will drive the relationships you allow in your life. It will drive the kind of person you marry. Interestingly, opposites attract. So if you don't understand the kind of person you are, and you don't understand the concept of what marriage is supposed to do for you, you will marry someone who is perfect for you and complain them out of your lives. So for instance, I'll give you an example, my husband and I. My husband is very extroverted, very. And I'm completely, in fact, when I do psychoanalysis tests, all those tests that tell you your personality, I always come up 100% introverted. 100%, not 99, not 98, 100%. Which means that I would rather be curled up in my bed right now under a duvet than be with human beings. That's how introverted I am. Now, because my husband is extroverted, he needs people around him. And when you first get married, or because opposites attract, it's such a beautiful quality. Oh, he likes people. Oh, how is he so comfortable around people? Oh, he's such a talker. Oh, thank God he talks because I don't really have anything to say. Then a few months after that, opposites start to frustrate. He begins to irritate you. Because why is he so messy? Why is he so talkative? Why can't you just stay indoors? You're literally outside all the time. Why are you so energetic? Can't you rest? Can't you stop? You start with all the can't yous and you start fighting. But you see, if you can survive that season and understand that what God is trying to do is use those weaknesses of you not liking people, and he's bringing your husband's strength of loving people. If you can endure that frustration and move into the next sweet spot, right, where you now begin to exchange. So now, even though originally I was not the kind of person who liked people, now I find myself in situations where I'm among people and I'm actually beginning to enjoy them. I'm enjoying conversations, I'm enjoying relationships, I'm beginning to understand the value of them. Now imagine if I didn't patiently wait through the frustration stages. I'll give you many examples. When I got married, my husband was what we call, because you also have money personalities. Okay? So my husband is what you call a spender. No, my husband is a big spender. Doesn't fall into the category of spender. It's a big spender. And I'm a saver. I don't understand how someone can spend all that they have. It just never makes sense. I don't think it will ever make sense to me, but it just never made sense to me. So imagine being a saver and being married to a spender. Imagine, I love the fact that he could just, spend money, live large. My husband believes in let's enjoy life. Life is for living. All this saving yourself. What if Jesus comes tomorrow? Who gets the money? And initially, it seemed like a very nice thing until it began to frustrate me. Because from the minute we met, we had a joint account, which was our agreement. All our money would be together. And I'm saving, he's spending. And he's buying unreasonable things. My husband would go out and buy a dog and come back and tell me, and I'll say, okay, you came back with 2 dogs. Why didn't you buy one? Because if one is lonely, you die. I'm like, that made sense to you? Like, yes. And he can sell, like I said, he's because he's extroverted, so he can sell ice to an Eskimo. My husband would tell me, I'll give you a perfect example. First time we moved into our home, my husband said to me, I understand that quality time is your love language. And I enjoy being with you. But I also like to play pool. So I feel like if we buy a pool table, I'll be able to play with the guys, but I will still be spending time with you, which is my focus. Everybody wants that. So I said, okay, let's buy the pool table. So we bought the pool table. Now what I didn't calculate was, where would we put it? So he came and said, oh, you see, we can't put it in the parlor because it's going to spoil the look of the parlor. So what we need to do, honey, let's build something outside. You see, we're spending more money, right? But he's not coming at me and saying, I won't spend money. He always has a way of making it about me. Because, if you really don't, can sell it and I can start going out too. I'm like, no. I enjoy the fact that, because I can just play with the boys a bit, then come in, just kiss you, hang out with you, and then I'll just go back again. It's you, I'm thinking about you. And truly, he wasn't trying to be manipulative. He really was thinking about me, but this was just another avenue to waste money. So we built the thing. Now, unfortunately, you are not God. In Nigeria, rain can fall from any direction. So they built it in a way that rain coming this way, it wouldn't hit the pool table. But there are days that God decided rain should come from this way. And so he spoiled the felt of the pool table. And my husband said to me, oh, it's bad. We have to buy another one. That's the kind of spending I'm talking about. I remember he traveled one day and came, no, he didn't travel. He went somewhere far and came back with a South African boabo and told me he bought the dog because he got a good deal. A good deal compared to what? What were we negotiating for before? And these were the things that I was so shocked by it, that a human being can just live. And then I would say to him, we have to save for the rainy day. And he would say to me, it's God that brings rain, it's God that brings money. Why are we worried? God will take care of the rain and the money. I see the spenders in the room. They said yes. So. But what I realized also was that I had an unhealthy approach to money as well. I would save so much, I wasn't spending anything. And so the balance, so you see, I could complain and destroy my marriage. Or I could balance it out and realize that this person is bringing something into my life that I didn't already have. So that's why I said that understanding yourself is the first step to anything, whether marriage, money, whatever. Understanding yourself. So I ask you again, who are you? And I must say this, marriage does not define you. Christ does. Marriage does not define you. We have taught it so much in the church. We have emphasized so much that even young girls are missing out on the season of singleness, which is such a beautiful season. Half of the girls in church they are single, but they want to get married. So they're not enjoying their single phase. They're focused on getting married. But there's a season where you travel. There's nothing as hard as traveling with children. I should know I did it. You have 3 children on that 10 and you're dragging everybody at the airport. There's a season where all my 3 children were under 5. And I was just confused. You strap them. I remember when I saw this backpack that has the leash, thank you. And I was much younger, and I thought to myself, how would anybody buy this? That's the arrogance of youth. How would anybody buy this? How would you leash your children? I had 3. I had 3. I had 3, I'm telling you. And another reason why I'm asking you who are you is because your design determines your outcome. You must understand yourself. Oh, it's something that, you see, The Bible tells us something. And I mean, we preach this a lot, especially in churches where we talk about being born again. Nicodemus went to Jesus. The day I saw that scripture with light, the light I'm about to show you now, it changed my entire life. Nicodemus went to Jesus and said, Rabbi, nobody can do the things you do except God is with him. And Jesus said to him, it's not about doing. He said, except a man be born again. So the fact that I am born by God is what determines what I do. So it's not what I do that determines that God is with me. So Jesus was saying to him, you have to settle the matter of identity first. That's what now attracts everything else. If you understand that you are the daughter of the Most High God, that you are a queen in your own right, you will not marry anything less than you deserve. The reason why we marry, for lack of a better word, rubbish as women, is because we think that is what we deserve. And it starts with your identity. You do not know who you are, so you do not know what you deserve. You don't know what you're entitled to. So I'll ask you again, who are you? Who are you when there's no Mrs. to your name? Who are you when nobody's calling you mommy? Who are you? The second question I'm going to ask you is, what are you sent here to do? What's your assignment? There has to be more to you than just marriage. I believe that that's your first assignment. And so when I say, what are you called to do? What are you sent to do? Usually people begin to think ministry in terms of, oh, I have to go to the nations, I have to do missions. No. Sometimes your assignment is an assignment that is just quiet. Nobody else but you and God understands it. Look at Jael. She was a prophetess. She was a judge. She was a wife. I assume she was a mother, even though it wasn't mentioned. And she was obviously a strategist, because when she called for Barak to go, he said, except you go with me. Because he needed counsel, he needed advice. But look who God used to win the battle. A stay-at-home mom, who the only thing she knew was hospitality and how to set up a tent and bring down that tent. Sometimes I think about it, what if she had not practiced bringing down, using the hammer and the if she had not practiced it well? Because the Bible says with one fell swoop, he hit, what's his name now, Sisera in his head, and he died instantly. If she had missed it, and he held her hand, her generation unborn would be dead. But she knew one thing, and she used that thing she knew. She used hospitality. She didn't go and pick up a sword. She took a glass of milk. He said, I want water. She said, water? I can do better than that. I'll give you milk. She gave him milk and covered him, and he slept. He relaxed. Hospitality. There are some people, he was so comfortable, he forgot he was at war. He forgot he was running. Because this woman understood the assignment. She didn't go outside to be trained with a sword. She knew that this is what I know, and this is how I'm going to use it. What's in your hand, God can use it. He doesn't need to put a mic in your hand. What's in your hand, God can use it. There has to be more to you than just money. There has to be more. I believe every woman is called to a ministry. The issue is you have to find it. It may not be a pulpit ministry, it may not be a preaching ministry, but you're called to something. One day I was thinking about great men of God who had done great things. And then I was thinking of Billy Graham. I think it was the season where he just passed. And they were doing a lot of documentaries. If you can remember at that time, there were lots of documentaries being done on him and telling his story and everything. And I was just thinking to myself, this man, he would stand in stadiums preaching the gospel, preaching to presidents, preaching to the queen. He did so much. And I asked myself, I said, who was his mother? Who was his mother? She probably raised him without the complete knowledge of who she was raising. Now that's ministry. But some women will tell you that if you don't hold a mic in your hand, that you are not a minister of the gospel. I beg to differ. I believe that some of us are called to raise godly seed. And that is a ministry. I believe some of us are called to just intercede over our husbands. That's a ministry. I believe it. I don't even believe every pastor's wife is called to pulpit ministry. I don't believe it. I believe that your first assignment is to be the wife of the pastor, to wife him. And truly, I'm tired of women just thinking all I'm called to do is just marry. No, there's so much greatness on the inside of you. So much. So much. A stay-at-home mom. She didn't see it coming. Sometimes the reason why you don't recognize what's in your hand is because you've taken it for granted. It's something you find easy to do. That's why you don't pay any mind to it. So the first question is, who are you? Second question is, what are you sent to do? The third question is going to be one of the most important questions you ask yourself. Who are you sent to do it with? If you're called to marriage, and I believe not everyone will get married. I don't believe everyone is called to marriage. But if you are called to marriage, then you have to learn how to do it right. By first picking. I hear a lot of women fight about submission, and this is my take on the issue. Submission is never the issue. It's selection. Submission always starts with selection. If you pick right, if you pick a man that loves you, a man that pampers you, a man that every decision he makes is for your good, there's nothing he will tell you to do that you won't do. I'm telling you, there's nothing. You see, we don't really have a problem with submission. We have a problem with who we are submitting to. How many of you drive in the room? How many of you drive? Can I see your hand? Thank you. How many of you have gotten to a traffic light and the light turned red and you said, me, submit to this stupid, this is an inanimate subject. How can he tell me what to do? How many of you will run that red light? Nobody. So you have a problem with submission. You have a problem with the person you're submitting to. And I have a problem with the fact that you chose someone you cannot submit to. And that's why I said it all starts with identity. If you know who you are, you will know who to pick. You won't marry somebody you can't respect. You won't marry somebody you can't trust his decisions. You won't marry somebody who won't look out for you. So, who are you sent to do whatever you are sent to do it with? Who is the person? That's what you need to ask yourself. And picking right is 80% of the job. You pick right, that's the first step. The second step is that you now have to do the right things in that marriage to make it work. Because you can pick the right person, and through your wrong actions, you can lose them. Because I've seen women married to very good men, and they drive them with bad attitudes. You become entitled because he treats you well. I've seen it happen over and over again. I've also seen women marry a man and move from being his wife to becoming his mother. And I can tell you, no man wants to marry his mother. The only thing they do. That's why they compare you to their moms and say, well, my mother did this, my mother did that. But when you become his mother, he doesn't want you. No man wants to marry his mother. So the question also is, how can I help this man, if I'm called to help him? How can I help him gracefully? Because there's a way you can help someone and the person will feel that you are being condescending. So how do I manage it? So that, first of all, I do what I'm supposed to do. I do it with the right person and I don't lose myself doing it. Because one of the things I've seen is women lose themselves in marriage. You forget who you were from the very beginning. You see, I'm going back to identity. It always goes back to who you are. Who you are, what you're sent to do, will determine who you go with. Now, for single ladies in the room, please, let me beg you. Do not marry a man who is not secure enough to let you shine. Do not marry a man who doesn't have a large enough vision to accommodate yours. Do not marry a man who will not only let you fly, but help you fly. The man must help you fly. He must be content to see you do well. You can't marry a man that's jealous of you. I've seen too many homes broken because people are in competition. If he's doing great and I'm doing great, we'll both be happy. And that's what God had in mind. So the person you go with is important. The person you go with, I've seen so many women get married and all their dreams dead. Dead because you married the wrong person. So the first question is, who are you? The second one, what are you sent to do? The third one is, who are you supposed to do it with? Don't marry a man who will be a lead over you, please. The next question, who has done it before? Whatever you are sent to do, I believe that there's someone who has done it before. God always, one of the reasons why we have the Bible is because God wants to show us the possibilities that are available to us. And he does that by showing us the lives of people who have done these things before. So you're a stay-at-home mom and you're thinking you're not going to do anything great. Look at Jael. She's there. You are very old and you're believing God for a child. Sarah is there. God brings a vision to you and you think you are too young. Mary is there. There's so many examples. You're trusting God for children. Hannah is there. You're marrying somebody who is a dreamer, always living by faith. Sarah is there. How did she do it? How? So God shows you mentors. There are people. Tonight someone said something very profound. She said people are templates. Oh, that struck me. You can actually look at a person's life and see the possibilities that are available to you. Now, whether you choose to follow that person is up to you, but there will be mentors all around you. And God doesn't just want you to stop at mentors around you. He wants you to also be a mentor.